What's up, everybody? Reggie, the Front Row Report here. I am joined today by Skinny from the band Mushroomhead. Skinny, thanks for talking to me today. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me and doing an interview with me. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it, man. It's an exciting time for Mushroomhead. We got a new album coming out next month, May 13th, with The Righteous and the Butterfly, man. I've had a chance to catch some of the album, and it's definitely, it's everything Mushroomhead is all about and more. It's outstanding.
Thank you. I feel the same way as far as, the whole Mushroomhead thing, as far, it kind of encompasses, like, take the last 6 records and kind of put them all together, and all those elements are definitely found on the new album for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's some, in a lot of places, it's some of the heaviest stuff you guys have put out so far, which that's saying a lot with everything you guys have put out, released, and done. To have something this deep into a career and discography be classified as some of the heaviest material is quite a statement, but I think you'd agree that some of it is some of the heaviest you've done.
Yeah, and some of it's really brutal. It's funny you say that because we did quite a few for this album, and, not all of them made it. And there's like 5 tunes that didn't make the album that we're currently working on for like an EP, like later, we'll release it later in the year. And it is really, really heavy. Like, we were working on it, we're like, no wonder this shit didn't get finished. It's just brutal. But the stuff on The Righteous and the Butterfly, yeah, there's some very brutal moments. And I think we definitely captured our attitude and our mood while we were creating this album. And that's why some of it's just so damn heavy.
There's also some really beautiful parts to this record too, especially songs like "Portraits of the People." It's a little bit slower, but it's heavy at the same time, but beautiful too. So you guys really went in 2 different directions on some parts of the record too. It's really impressive to see that.
That one to me is very traditional Shroom, man. It's got that traditional Jeffrey Nothing in it, man. It's like you hear him just belt that stuff out, and it's like, oh, it brings you back, to the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're a long-time fan of Mushroomhead, or whether this is the first Mushroomhead album you've ever heard, I think there's something for everybody on this. And, I mean, the follow-up to Beautiful Stories, I mean, it's exactly what Mushroomhead fans are going to want to hear at this point in time, I think. It's just awesome.
Cool, yeah, thank you. I agree, man. I mean, I at least hope so. I hope, like, all the kids and people that have been following and, really, dig the band in a lifestyle sort of way, I really hope we nail it, hit home with this one. Because, being, doing it for 22 years, you kind of wonder sometimes, it's like, am I writing music for myself or for everyone else? And this album was definitely written for ourselves. We wrote it for us. Right. So we were, it's very honest, let's say that. So, if people really respond to it, that's great, because it's just us being us, there's nothing contrived about it.
Right. Now, this is the first record at least to have Ryan on bass, Church on guitar, and it's the return of JMann for the record, too. Talk a little bit about how all of that, especially, JMann's return to Mushroomhead for this record, really played into the final product of The Righteous and the Butterfly.
Well, I'll tell you, Church and Dr. F, man, those guys are incredible musicians, and they're very, very, very knowledgeable. Ryan, he's like classically trained, and he plays piano, drums, sings, and he can do anything. He's just amazing. Church, another just awesome guitar player, an amazing studio engineer and like Pro Tools editor. And, I do a lot of that Pro Tools and producing and engineering as well. So to have an actual team this time around, to where we could get out of the chair and trade off and like work on, I work on a tune with Tommy at night, and then Ryan would come in and, tweak it, throw some bass or throw some keyboards on it, and then, the next day come in and be like, hey, check out what I did to this, or check out what Tommy did to this, or check out what Ryan did to this. It was very cool to have, like, just a constant 24 hours team just running around the clock, just knocking tunes out and just throwing ideas at it. So having those two was really, different and beneficial on that whole end as far as the workload, as far as, keeping files together and just the actual engineering. And then just on the creative end, those guys, it literally got to the point, okay, we got to stop writing, okay? We got to start literally working on so many songs that the singers put some vocals on. Because it was seriously like 26, 27 ideas, and we knocked it down to about 22, and then, 12 ended up on the album. So there's a bunch of cover songs as well that we did. And then with Jay coming back, man, I tell you, that was just like riding a bike, It was almost like he never left. I think the biggest thing for me as a producer was just finding space for all three singers, where it wasn't just constant vocals and there was actual music happening as well. That's probably the biggest challenge. But Jay coming back, it wasn't even a transition. It was as smooth as it ever was. It was like he never left. And, he's been around doing a lot of shows throughout the years with us. So him and Will have gotten to be really good friends over the years as well. So, there was, like I said, it was just, it just happened. Everything was very, very natural.
Awesome. Last year you guys did, it's kind of hard to believe, it's been 22 years. Last year you did the 20th anniversary tour last fall, which was outstanding. We covered that one out in Pittsburgh, and you can just look back on that tour a little bit for me and just talk about how that tour was and just the fact that it's been 20 years of Mushroomhead.
Big thing about that tour was obviously that was JMann's first tour back.
Yeah.
And, obviously that was exciting there, but it was fun working with him because, he had done like 9 shows in, the last year or whatever, and we put him out there for a quick 42 inside of 6 weeks or 35 inside of 6 weeks. Like, more so than he's done in the last 6 years then. So he was like, holy shit, man, it was just fun getting him back out on the road, and seeing him, like, you actually saying, holy shit, I forgot how much work there is out here to do, like, hasn't been out in 10 years, so that was pretty cool. And then, obviously just sharing the stage on the exact date that we started, which is October 23rd, 1993 was the first show. So I want to say we were, where were we? Maybe Knoxville, Tennessee. We were somewhere like that, Tennessee, somewhere in that area. And we just, it was just, like I said, it was just awesome to be on, stage with those guys literally 20 years later to the day. It's pretty heavy,
Awesome. Awesome. Now, finally, Mayhem Festival, just finally the lineup was announced about a week ago. I think a week ago today, actually, or yesterday, the lineup was announced. Outstanding lineup. You guys are on Mayhem finally. Probably the hottest tour ever, heat-wise, is going to be insane, but one of the best lineups as well. What does being on Mayhem Festival mean for Mushroomhead and mean to you to be able to participate in a tour like that?
Well, being included in that, is awesome just because it's, it's a fucking legendary tour. It's like being an Ozfest, We were fortunate enough to do that 12 years ago. So, having another opportunity to be on large festivals, everyone loves doing the festivals in the camp. So it's just like I said, it's an honor to be included in the lineup this year. We just got done doing the Soundwave in Australia. And that's been more the outdoor festivals as well. We were on 11:30 a.m. It was 11 was Amon Amarth, 11:30 was Mushroomhead, noon was Five Finger Death Punch.
Wow.
On the stages we were on. And man, let me tell you, we were like, when we were in the States, we're like, man, I hope there's kids there, 11 in the morning. Fuck, there was 15,000, 20,000 every day. On the stages we were at, man, it was just packed. And like all of the entertainment that was on the stages we were, like, you had Guar, you had Down, there was a lot of heavy hitters over on the stages we were. So, man, the kids and the people just absolutely ate it up, and they were there, man. So I'm hoping Mayhem's just as packed. I know we're pretty early on that. I don't have a final time stop, but I know we're pretty early on the Jaeger Colcock stage or whatever it is now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an honor to be included into that, and hopefully it's just that kind of thing continues, and we get to do more festivals.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and you guys, here in a couple weeks, you're going to be hitting the road. I think at the beginning of May, I think you're going to be touring a little bit. You're going over to Russia here soon. And then when you get back from Russia, you're hitting the road here in the States. And it's got to be a different kind of feeling atmosphere when you go on tour, and you're on tour as a record is releasing, especially, you know, this far in your career, a little bit of a lot of excitement when the new record releases when you're on tour. Does that add a little bit of extra to the tour when the record is releasing, when you're on the road?
Absolutely, you know, because usually when you go out and you release an album, you start playing material off the new album that you've never played live before.
Right.
So that gets really fun as far as trying out different tunes for audiences and seeing how they go over. You know, you'll like one or two, and then, you know, play it, and you'll be like, man, you know, that tune didn't really go over like I thought it was gonna, you know, and then you pick another one and be like, wow, that one just made the whole place jump. That was awesome. So it's exciting in that aspect because there's a lot of experimenting.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see everything as far as crowd reaction and everything with the Righteous and the Butterfly, because it, like you said, it encapsulates everything that Mushroomhead is on this record, which it's rare to see a record do that for a band, but it's an outstanding record. I mean, anything Mushroomhead fans could want is on it. I love it, and I can't wait for it to be released, and you guys have definitely outdone yourselves with this one. So
Thank you, man. I'm really proud of it myself. It really did come out. It came out great. You know, I knew it was going to be good when we went in to mix it, but I can still listen to it. Usually by the time I'm done, I don't want to hear the record ever again. But we were doing a video. We did a video for the song called QWERTY. I think it's number 4. We did a video for that last week, and I'm still not sick of it. You know, you think after hearing the song 800 times, it's like, oh God. But no, it's still fun. You know, I find myself, you know, now horns in the air and saying the lyrics and shit.
QWERTY's just a fun song. I mean, I can't wait for fans to hear that. It is just fun. You know, it's
a fun one. It has all the elements of Shroom. It's got the big, you know, crowd participation, sing along. You know, the chant in the middle, the boom boom, and it's just that's definitely one that was written going, hey, we need to do something fun for live, you know, and really tear it up, you know. And I really feel like that one's going to be great live.
Awesome, man. Skinny, thank you so much for taking time today. It's been awesome, and again, I can't wait for the album to release, and good luck with over in Russia when you come back to the States, and we'll see you in Indianapolis on Mayhem Festival this summer.